All right, good afternoon, cyber traders. Welcome on back here this Wednesday afternoon, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. This is 2:30 afternoon meeting. Great to see all of our students and members alike inside our live trading room. Jeff and I just chatting on Tesla right now, heading into their earnings report post-market today. We have Yehuda here joining us on Rivian, and a few more of our students here alike just joining us here. So great to see all of them here, and all of our members on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, the works, wherever you're joining us. Great to see you here. So with that said, market's been relatively flat across the afternoon, dropped off at noontime, and then just kind of chugging along a little bit since. So not a whole lot to report home about. Tesla steady down like we had talked about here. TSLL would be the cheaper alternative to Tesla stock, if anything, if you're not trading the options. So TSLL is actually a single stock ETF that is a little bit more leveraged. I think it's like 1.5 to 2 times X leverage. It tracks Tesla. So when TSLA makes a big move, this will make a move corresponding. So, it could be a cheaper alternative, like I'd said. I'd rather be interested in seeing what it does going into the market open tomorrow, coming off the earnings report in the after hours today. So I'm not going to be as keen to follow it here for this afternoon, but obviously we'll check in with it tomorrow. Let's just go right from top to bottom here. Otherwise, I know we had our hands full on a few different trades here. Carvana from before. We ended up doing well on Blue here. That's still up about 19%. You got Workhorse sneaking up there a little bit. I didn't see that really up until just now. So let's start right from the top, then we'll work our way down. So CLBR, number one on the gainers list. I guess number one on our watch list right now too. So CLBR, I guess at this point we'll put back on there, but very illiquid. I mean, it's got a crazy spread, thin volume out there on the book. Just jumping ahead to Carvana here, and it's the same type of liquidity as you have on Carvana. So I will say I'd rather trade the cheaper of the two, but that's not to say that CLBR is a safe, low-risk play. The thing's up huge already, and with how illiquid it is, hey, right place, wrong time could be very deadly. Big trees fall hard. We ended up seeing this actually make a big pop and drop yesterday. We didn't call it out as much, but you just see from the daily chart there, ended up making a huge pop, then snap back down. I'm sure that you don't want to be on the wrong side of that, drop off there. So history could repeat itself with that in mind. So just be careful. Cross your T's, dot your I's. I'll tell you what, though. So let's go back to Carvana. I'm going to move around here slightly. CVNA number 3 on the gainers list. So Carvana is going back up slowly here. By slowly, given the price and the volatility, this is a little bit slower compared to, at least earlier. So, hey, the trend up I appreciate. And I guess I'll slip Carvana on the main list. Is there a stock, folks, that we've been calling out today that has moved fairly well, not perfectly, but fairly well with Carvana here? For Jeff or Yehuda, any of our students here right now, let me know if there's a stock that we've been calling out today. It's been on our list. What do you got for me, folks? Nothing, says Jeff. You got to scroll up on the chat board, my friend. All from the morning into the afternoon. VRM, Froome, come on. Just look at the daily chart here. I mean, we've been calling this out from yesterday into this morning, but coming off the early pre-market here with the squeeze that we had on Carvana, VRM has been moving pretty nicely since the market opened. It was a nasty pre-market trade at first, but it ended up making a really good move off of like 237, 240-ish as it trended up just about 50 cents higher, close to 50-cent move. But right now, this seems to be pushing back up pretty nicely here. Pushing back above a big level I had on my chart off of 262. It's testing it here. So for right now, I'd rather look to follow that VRM compared to the Carvana. They're going to move similarly, but this one, not only cheaper, but much more liquid. Much more liquid. Safer in that regard, right? We're not here to go to the casino, folks. I can refer you to a few online websites if it's allowed in your state. But we're here to make highly educated decisions with our money. And with that, that's what I'm saying. Like, I've been calling this thing out all from the morning because it's the safer trade. So I'm going to put both on there, but VRM kind of towards the top part of it. Let's see what else we got, though. SXTP. This has been on our list here, too, from the morning, but really hasn't done much. I mean, a little bit of a bounce off of 290-ish. So if you were able to get in off the bottom there, then you're up a pretty penny. Hopefully there's more to come on this trade because it has been trending back up pretty nicely. So has our attention again. We'll put this back on SXTP, give it a fair shake. Trading about 7,000, 8,000 shares a minute. So hopefully that number picks up a little bit more, but it's not like dead quiet out there. There's a chance for this to break higher. Ooh, skipped over this ONDS, more of an afternoon move here, so easily enough. Going to put this on our list now too. Hey, we're building up a nice little watch list at this point. CLBR, we got our Vroom trade, the SXTP just a second ago, this year ONDS, and on the back end, Carvana. So this actually breaking above the highs that we had back from last week, it looks like on this ONDS, like 145, 146 area. Of course, 150, but the strong break above it here, re-break, this is in good shape. All right, we keep it going, we keep it moving. SDA moving up, but pretty thin. Gonna pass on that. Fiber, we'll call this fiber, frontline communication. Little push up here towards 15. It's tradable. I just feel like it's not as prone to make as big of a pop going into the close here. I feel like this type of stock can just like lure us in, tease us, maybe give us like 5 or 8 cents. But we'll see if there's anything looking a little bit more convincing, perhaps. Have room trade. Hey, vroom. That's pushing. 264. Now, Workhorse is the one I had referenced earlier, sneaking up on the gainer side for right now. We didn't really call this one out from the morning. Just to shoot straight here, folks. We missed out on this one at first, but can't catch them all. There were plenty of other stocks we did well on from the morning session, but this one we are very familiar with. So it could have been a really good trade just because we have good experience with this stock, and it's very low risk given the pace, the liquidity out there. The fact it's inching up towards the highs, I do really like. So I'll put this on our list too. It's another EV type of company. If this is moving, let's check out Ride. Oh, did Ride delist? Ride's no longer listed. Lordstown Motors. Okay, there we go. You learn something new every day. I didn't realize that. Those two tickers typically have moved in tandem. There you go. No more Ride. You got Workhorse though here. There you go. Certainly goes to show we don't follow the same stocks every single day. I don't know when that happened. I'll have to go back on that. NVTA, nice move from the morning, but finished up now. RXRX, I forgot about this one from the morning session. Look, I mean, it's easy to say in hindsight, very hindsight comments here, but I got to make sure I clip this picture because this is as clean of a pennant breakout as you can really look for. Higher lows, lower highs, and instead of breaking down, it broke out upward. And instead of making the false breakout and the snap back down, the thing continued. It's actually a really nice trade, it seems like. Now, at this point, again, it's built up a little support, so it gives us a little hope for this to try and break the highs here and keep going. It's volatile enough for me to at least consider. Kind of same deal as Carvana right now. I'll kind of put this towards the back end of our watch list right now. If it ends up snapping back below the VWAP there, then odds would tell me that's going to sink lower. So then in that case, game over. But for right now, it makes the list. All right, what else we got? What else we got here? AAOI move from this morning. Top little pop and drop from before 2. GOSS, nice little push right now. This stock we are pretty familiar with here at the same time. Back from last year, it ended up pumping up. I think that could have even been before a reverse stock split. So, the thing has been dropping off for quite some time for right now, and perhaps could lead to a little squeeze. Let's see if there's anything looking better. It's at the high, so it's hard to ignore this. Probably will put this on our main list at the end. But I got to tell you, it's been a pretty eventful day altogether. So there's a lot more that's up, that 5% that I typically ask you folks. So, if there's anything else, Brian, I think Brian, it was talking about Pac West, right? So PACW, another good move on this trade from earlier today. Actually, this is one I personally missed out on. I think Brian killed it, though, on the stock earlier. So, hey, it was called out at least from a few of our students. Brian and Elizabeth. Elizabeth got like $2.73 on this trade, perhaps a swing. Phenomenal trade. But Brian also on top of that too. And You know what? Hasn't died off either. I'll kind of consider this at the end. The GOS, the PAC W, kind of putting on the side list here for right now. All right. So, hey, we got to work together as a team here. If you're joining us on social, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, let me know. If you're inside our live trading room, of course, you folks know the deal here. Let me know if there's anything else that I missed on the gainer side. I'm going to hop over to the losers list here. This was more of like a captain hindsight comment because we caught this much after the fact, but Jobby, I mean, there was some news that came out yesterday afternoon, right? We noticed that, and it led to a big drop. So it definitely could have been takeable for today. Just again, there were others out there that had our interest, and from there, this just continued. Really nice short after the market opened up for Jobby, just flat right now though. So keep it on your side list for tomorrow. Keep it on your side list for the remainder of this week. Toast. Looking like toast. Down 15 plus percent. So this is right off the lows here. It's more of a short opportunity here at this stage. So I don't mind it. I'll put this on the main list here at this point. Makes the cut, makes the cut. See if there's anything else looking just as good or, on the way down. If it's not down as much, just give me a stock that's shortable at the lows for a good trade there. OMC if you like a more expensive stock, but price will factor in. All right, so let me know if there's anything else, folks, looking good up or down. We got one there from the losers list. I'm going to check out Redfin, familiar name at least from my side. Just not looking really too active there, so pass. All right, so let me know, folks, up, down, left, right. Let me move my cursor. I got this weird glitch happening right there. Ride is now Ride Q from Barbara. There we go. I did not realize that. Appreciate that. Ride Q. OTC stock. So that's down 8% from yesterday's close. Popped up into the close yesterday, it looks like. LMND from Elizabeth. Yeah, it's up 15%. It is pushing back up here, right? The bounce is the part that's capturing my interest a little bit more. So nice squeeze. Got a big list here, folks. We're going to have to go through this one more time, I think, just to make sure. Maybe scratch off a dud or two if anything's dumped off. Rodney, one of our new trial members, I think, here asking about Siri. This Siri trade has been dead for so long. And maybe I haven't looked at it in quite some time, but this thing has been for like years. I guess I missed out on a big drop, and now it's starting to squeeze up a bit. It's so slow. This stock is hyper liquid, as we're now going to call it, much more than any other trade that's been called out like this in like the last day or two. A stock like SoFi, a stock like Palantir, all have big volume out there on the order book. WKHS, right? I feel like WKHS has a little bit more short squeeze potential, though, compared to Siri, just from past experience. And also, this is already squeezed up so much from the last week, I guess we'll call it. It's already getting pretty darn close to that historical area or level. So I'm going to pass on this trade, Rodney. No harm, though. It's like not like too volatile. It's not high risk. Just I think there's not as much opportunity. That's all. Appreciate the participation, though. And if more, new trial members like that actually participate, ask questions, make call outs. Hey, the more that you are active with us, the more you're going to learn, right? You learn to know what we look for in a trade. You learn to know what we want to sit on our hands for. So it's not like that Siri trade was too volatile. I really at times have to tell some students like, this is on a 30-cent spread. You're trying to gamble here, right? That Siri stock is not that type of trade. So, just probably just not as much meat to get off the bone on that one. For AT&T, though, you could say the same deal. I mean, this thing has been flatlining really all from the morning, just in a range. Is it possible it could break higher? Yeah, I guess if you're looking for like maybe 8 cents, 5 cents. So I'm going to pass on it there just because of lack of opportunity, I feel, but low risk. Upstart, higher risk, higher price. Just I don't think it's doing as much for me to put on the main watch list right now, Roger. If anyone does well on this trade over the last few days, and if you want to follow up on it right away, then you know who you are, right? That's the way I like to phrase it because, well, hey, I have about 9 or so stocks on this watch list. We're going to go through it all here just before we wrap up. there's going to be a lot more than 9 stocks that are going to be moving going into this market close. So it's not for all of our students to make, a bunch of call outs at any, but hey, if there is a stock that you see that we went over, I didn't put it on the main list, but you've done well on it. I'm certain that you're going to be more inclined to follow that stock so long as it presents the opportunity. So on our side list here, you have Goss. It's at the highs again. It's like really hard for me to ignore that type of move. And then Pac W moving up a little bit more penny by penny, and we're familiar with that trade. I'm in a kind mood. Both of these at least will make the list. All right. Water break there. And with that, how many do we have to wrap up this meeting here? We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 stocks to work with, folks. We are at no shortage to work with right now heading into the close. So start and stick with this list. And then otherwise, Rich will be on the mic just in about 15 or so minutes at 3 o'clock Eastern to take things going into the close for all of us here live. All right. I'll be in the chat board, though, up until 3:30. I'm on a coaching call with one of our students at 3 o'clock. So if there's anything that I see that looks good, we'll look to call it out together. But otherwise, I'm probably going to stick with that VRM to begin on our list. Otherwise, maybe a stock like PACW, which I'm pretty familiar with myself. I've done well on it in the past. I like this move. This is a good one. So I'm probably going to start with those two to begin myself. All right, everybody. Hey, if you're joining us live on YouTube or Facebook Live, LinkedIn, all of our social media streams, we appreciate you joining us there. But if you wanted to follow us inside our live trading room, continue the audio commentary with my colleague Rich taking us into the close. If you're fancy with your phone, just scan that QR code right there on the bottom of the screen. Otherwise, you could just go right down to the link on the green banner below on the bottom right there as it's scrolling through. And that'll take you right to a page to sign up for a week-long trial inside our live trading room. But from there, you'll get access to all of our workshops, our audio commentary, of course, all of our students there, just kind of working together as a team on trades just like this. And we'll see what else we can get here heading into the final 75 minutes here, folks. All right, talk to you all soon. Take care.